Uh, just a minute, okay? I just didn't unmute myself. That's a little bit. Let me start it. Uh, so, uh, uh, Sumit sir, we are going to start our first ever session regarding voice right, where we talk about esoteric things as esoteric elites, as we have already mentioned regarding this thing. So, I guess we can start this meeting, and then let's see. I mean, like, what comes up after the meeting concludes. That's what the entire plan is. As you know, if you are a viewer of Voyage Ride and you have been tuning to us for the last 3 years, our slogan is serendipity guaranteed. So this is the first session of video that where we're trying to do that. So Sumit sir, let's start with you. What do you have to say for what we are doing today?
Sir, can you hear me? Yeah, so sir, what do I want to say today is the world is burning. There's like a Russia and Ukraine thing going on. There is apparently now Middle East is in um, kind of like a war. War might break out anytime. So I would say it could be very easy to feel melancholic or like a gloom and doom kind of thing, right? And yeah, so I'm not surprised whether you are directly affected by it or not, right? Whether you care about this thing or not, because most of us do live in our own bubble. That's there, right? But I guess something you cannot ignore. That's the good thing about good or bad. I don't know. That's the thing about internet age and social media age is like whether you want it or not, something is in your face, right? Right now at this current state or stage, I would say what's happening around me globally. It's not that it can be very discomforting and like you might not enjoy it to say the least, right? The eternal optimist that I am, I know. My thing is that I want to say something. My whoever will listen to this thing is that I mean, yeah, things are rough. Things doesn't looks good, but at the same time, if we believe that not everything is in our control, I think that can bring a little bit of solace. Our tendency is to like think that hey, we are in control, right? We are control of our own destiny. But like when you hear things like this, that things might go wrong, and you feel very agitated or like you feel very scared. But I want to say this: like sometimes it's especially in situation like this, it might be a good idea to just sit back and let the thing go on its own. I don't know. I mean, just to think that, hey, I cannot control everything, and it's okay. I think that might be the so to call what's the doctor order right now. I don't know. What are you feeling, Mr. Sir? What's your take?
So whatever you said, I guess that's why we started this video session. And then, look at the world. I mean, like how it has changed in like 4 or 5 or 6 months, maybe. Look at what's happening. I mean, like so many wars that are now. I don't know. They seem to be spreading everywhere. It started with this Ukraine and Russia war that has been going on for 2 years. We knew that this was going to go somewhere. I mean, it was going to go somewhere. It was going to be copied by someone else. You can see that. I mean, like Israel Palestine conflict has been going on for a while now. And India Pakistan, I guess we saw that happening as well. That almost a nuclear war like situation. There's a song I remember by this band called Iron Maiden. This is my favorite band, and it had a song called 2 Minutes to Midnight. I don't know how many seconds to midnight last 2 or 3 months ago. This this nuclear war situation was. They put an atomic clock there, how close we were to that, and certainly like I'm glad it didn't happen, of course, but you can still see like sad situation is happening regarding the ballistic missiles being exchanged between Israel and Iran now. America not playing a role of kind of like a mediating role, rather escalating the situation. I think the world situation, our situation as well. I guess our work situations. There are many things to be melancholic about these days. I guess the melancholy has kind of got to us as well, that we're both using these goggles as well. You don't like to like put your face up there. I'm just showing my viewers my face. Okay, I'm a real person. I'm no Terminator or something. But I guess it's easier for to talk about these things. So that's why we're putting this up. So I hope you are listening to it. Okay, Sumit sir, would you like to continue on with this?
Yeah, Nisha sir. So, Nisha bro, um, since we're talking about this global situation right now, and you just become a father, touch wood, your boy is about 1.5 years old, if I'm not mistaken, right? How do you feel about raising a child in this environment? I mean, being a father and all that's great, I'm sure, and but like, do you have any anxiety, or when you look at the state of the world, how do you feel being a parent in this kind of environment?
So if you ask me how I feel, I mean, like every day, every day being with a child, I felt this. I mean, like, I mean, 6, 7 months. Every time I look at his face when he's like sleeping, kind of like a thought comes in my mind. I'm like, what kind of a world have I given to my son, man? I'm like, what kind of world am I handing it over to my next generation? And sometimes it makes me sad. It makes me like I have my angst. I have my existential angst all the time, and those kinds of things do happen. But there's one thing though I do get solace. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. I feel like that. I don't feel like even this earth is real or this world is real. Or I don't know. I have a lot of like confusion regarding this world these days. I feel like everything is just kind of like a simulation or something. I know nothing is happening to me right now. Maybe that's why I feel it. Sometimes I feel like that as well. Maybe because nothing is happening and the world is burning at many places, and the news keeps on mentioning that the world is burning everywhere, and nothing is happening to me. Maybe that's why I feel simulation. Sometimes I think that way, but there's a component of faith in my mind. I think that's the reason uh, I'm starting to not think in those terms. You see, uh, last year, 4 years, it may sound funny or something, or traditional, or maybe not in the sense of a modern man of the 21st century, but I have my heart and my soul connected to a goddess in our culture of Hinduism called Bhadrakali, and I see her as kind of like governing my life for last 3.5 years or something. I never go to even my work before even going to her temple or a church, you can say, and not saying thank you for what you have given to me in last 3 or 4 years, and you govern my life, please. And it has been quite easier to govern it that way as well. That's why when I sometimes think what kind of world I'm giving to my son, at times I feel empty about, and I feel very responsible regarding the world that we as a human being are responsible in some way. Even if I'm in a country called Nepal, which may not have much say in the world, I feel responsible for the type of world that I'm now making the next generation inherit. I feel responsibility as a millennial as well, because I'm a teacher as well. I'm teaching my students. I'm telling about these news to my students as well. Their worldview is being shaped by what I'm telling them. They look up to me. And yeah, I guess the part and parcel of life is you directly or indirectly something happens there, but I guess that's how I'm taking solace right now. Just leave it to the higher deterministic universe and the entity. Whatever they're doing is up to them. That's my only solace right now.
So Nishay, bro, you were a mechanical engineer. You did had almost 15 to 20 years of corporate experience, and now you talk about faith, right? And how it helps you, right? And how in a way it guides you, right? How difficult was it for like a person with such a like a scientific background, having like this worked in a modern corporation to fall back on faith, right? I mean, the most people, like you said, for like a modern man, is the religion, believe in higher power. It's kind of out of fashion nowadays, if you ask me, right? No, especially this generation. Even in America, they said that the people who go to church, right? It's declining every thing. And you talk about the impact of faith that has happened to you in the last 3 years is like it's a guiding light for you, right? So how difficult was it for you to like transition from a man of science, right, man of like a free will, to more like this kind of like believing like a higher power thing?
So, of course, right now this meeting, I'm telling a lot about. I hope that you can, if I forget, okay, I hope you can send your take on this same thing as well, whatever you have mentioned, because I guess we have talked in private regarding this, and we are sharing this in public right now. I hope you'll do the same once I finish my part of the things regarding the same question that you have just said. I hope you do that too. Okay, so sir. That's my request. Sometimes I'm lost in the train of thoughts, so that's why. I hope you remember. So I guess we have talked about this as well before as well. I mean, like what kind of person I was. I guess I was not that changed as well. I have been freewheeling my way out of life for a very long time, I guess. And but I wouldn't say completely freewheeling. Maybe I have been like what do you say about this mix up of both determinism and not a hard deterministic way of life for me. I did believe in faith and everything. Lots of things have happened in my life. My family has split up many years ago. Then I guess I went into an ashram and stayed under a guru for at least 5 years. I was directly or indirectly associated under a guru. For 3 years, I lived there in that ashram for 3 years as a hardcore person, completely depending my life upon that entity and let him guide me. I lived it that way as well, in a kind of like a deterministic spirit, like whatever I mentioned before as well, before this meeting. I lived that way as well. But most of my life, I guess, it would be good to say that I've lived more of a freewheeling life where I tried to change a lot of things in this universe. And I guess there was very little solace from this as well. There was always anxiety and everything. Whatever we talked before as well, if you remember, I mean, like regarding the next generation, I feel responsible and sometimes I don't as well. At least I'm in a good place right now, I think. Completely embracing that a higher self is over me and taking over my life. That's a good thing for me, I think. That I couldn't do, I guess, when I was in, I guess, almost, let's say, like between 2012 and 15, I stayed in ashram, depending on a guru, a living entity, as my guide and as a completely deterministic guide. That he will govern my life, he will govern my fate, that kind of thing. I have done it, but I guess I left that life. There's a lot of legacy here. I know. Maybe I'm not giving a clear answer to your question, but there's so much to say. I don't want to finish it in this session itself. I guess there are a lot of things that we have as esoteric allies that we have given our youths to this purpose of determining who we are, what we are. So I guess in coming sessions, I hope this becomes a teaser as well regarding what's in our heart and what's in our mind. I'm not giving a complete answer to Sumit sir's thing, and I hope he also will leave something for audience to next page. But can you tell me the answer to the same question? I guess I've been a little, I've been going a little circle and circle. Maybe I got the question confused in whatever train of thoughts that are coming right now. So this is my part of the story till now.
Yeah, so it's very strange, Nishish. I did my undergrad in physics as well, man of science. Again, hardcore freewheeler, so to say. But I guess sometime the life will teach you some lessons, and I'm listening to Mike Tyson. In the last 2 or 3 days, right? I'm hearing stories of Mike Tyson. I mean, I always like the guy, right? And pound for pound, he's considered one of the greatest fighters of all time. And I hear him, right? And like I hear his humility, I hear his wisdom, so to speak, from a man who kind of spent $400 million in his lifetime, right? I don't know if you can call that spending or not, but anyways, right? That roller coaster life. Once you go through that roller coaster of a life, then you realize that shit that's just happens, whether you want it or not, whether you look at it. Did I really plan that? Then you sit down sometime and you contemplate, and then it hits you. I mean, come on, man. I mean, they are true. I was just watching this documentary about universe yesterday from the Professor Brian Cox, and they're 2 trillion galaxies. 2 trillion. They're 2 trillion galaxies, and like they're in every galaxy there are about 200 billion stars. So, and we are one small system at a corner of a Milky Way galaxy, and we try to think that we can, in some way, can control everything. So for me, that was um, hubris of a different level. I realized that as a person, right, you cannot have more arrogance than that. If you honestly ask me, then that led me to a little bit what seeds, like a seed that control that I feel that I need to exercise every moment of my life. And so once I start giving that control, my life become easier, man. It was a lot easier once I gave that control, right? I felt like I didn't the anxiety subsided a lot. I was like happy. I was just happy, not trying to control everything. Right. And like that's me. And I think this is especially in this day and age, look at it, right? I mean, I lived in the US for like 10, 12 years. I lived in China for 3, 4 years, right? I went to the best school. And the level of anxiety I found in those countries, those places, those elite institutions is the prime reason for my understanding is because you don't want to seize control. You have to be the master of your destiny. And for me, if you ask me, the one problem that's plaguing human being right now is the desire to be in control of everything, desire for certainty. You don't like uncertainty nowadays. You want everything to be like known. You know what I mean? That's and whenever there's some level of like kind of like uncertainties, some level of probabilities in thing. When the idea becomes to reduce the probability to zero, of course you're gonna have this anxiety, this kind of I don't know how you call it. And for me, once I seize that control, seize that hubris, um, my life became just easier. It just did. Right. And so that led again, I don't want my viewers or audience to think that we're preaching about faith or like we want to like proselytize people to this religion or that religion. That's not the objective here, right? Of course, I mean, I believe you cannot like come especially things like faith and belief and what does it means to human. No one can actually try to convince you one way or the other. These kind of things. I think a life experience will eventually will lead you to one path or the other. So it's not my um, any motive in any ways to convert people to this or that, but I'm just telling that me personally, my life became easier once I kind of like seize that control and start thinking that there are things, there are stuff that nothing that's beyond my control, and it's okay. And I was okay with it. That's important too as well. That it's one thing to say that okay, yeah, I can tell what happened what happens in the Iran and Israel war right now. It's one thing to say that, and it's one thing to be okay with it. It's okay. And I think once I did that, yeah, I'm more happy. Definitely, I'm more happy. Yeah, that's that's my story. I would say. Yeah.
Okay, so sir, do you think today we have anything else to talk about, or should we like let go of this first ever like voyage ride meeting or something? Because I don't know, my mind is a little blank right now. You know, I don't know. I was just listening to it. I was just contemplating. I felt good today. So I'm gonna tell you what. It's important that what Ralph Waldo Emerson said, you know, uh, what is true in your private heart is true. I felt good today, you know. You remember what we were just doing an hour back, and we were just like, I don't know what whether we'll do this or not. I don't know. But right now, I feel good. I feel good just talking about this. Okay, I'll just let you take over. Okay.
Yeah, so again, we've been doing this kind of intellectual exercise. I don't know whether intellectual sounds a little bit like snobbery or like we've been doing this kind of discourse for the last 3 years, right? And finally, I guess we think this is the right time to share. And I again, I don't want this to be a marketing event or something like that. But again, this is what we do in Voyage, right? Which is our brand, and we tend to do this for the rest of our life in the hills and mountains and the esoteric places of the world, right? Be it in Nepal, be it in wherever, right? There, we believe the planet Earth is beautiful. They are like very, very unique places in the world where you can have this kind of discourse where we want to talk about something that's beyond us. And that's the aim of Voice, right? And I'm glad we did this. This is the first so to call podcast, right? And I'm sure we'll be doing this more. And yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, so then I guess that's it. This is our first video. Of course, we have other videos. Okay, we have done while we are doing hikes and treks on the hills and mountains. We have done many things before. If you want to check it out in our LinkedIn pages, I think they are there. If you want to see, we were doing this since hike, but I think now we are very comfortable sharing ideas. I mean, like this in our fourth year of existence, we are very getting ready to not just write or to do posters regarding human existence and humanity in general. I guess we are pretty much ready to go to the world, talk about it, and answer questions if there are any queries. We want to add more people to this practice that we have started today, and let's do it for this summer, I guess. It's summer right here in Kathmandu. That's why it's not. Maybe it's a different thing in Australia or the Pacific, those places. But that's what I want to say. It's summer here. Let's enjoy all these things. Let's not be anxious. Let's let go of our existential angst or our melancholies. Let's talk about it. Like world is at the cusp right now. We know it, but I think we here at Voyage Right have a solution for everything. These hills and mountains have given us the solution. I hope you give them as well. So, it's anything else to add?
Yeah, Nishisa, you said it beautifully. We try to talk about this difficult question that we kind of like put under the carpet, so to speak, in the last 20, 30, 40, or 50 years. And it's very uncomfortable. I understand. We don't want to talk about these things. You know, we're going to go and have a beer, go and have a party, do and that. I know, but I guess at some point, someone has to address this existential question if we as a species is going to move forward. Yep. Thank you, sir. That's all. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. If you have listened to this, if you are listening to this, we're talking here. Me on one corner, yes, in somewhere other corner. We are nearby in our
Yeah.
office space and doing this. I hope you enjoyed whatever we did. If not, please do let us know. You have been very nice people who have been good readers of my articles. Sumit says banners and everything. For 3.5 years we're there. This is for you guys. Thank you. So I'm ending
Thank
this
you.
meeting then. Thank you everyone for this thing.